page here. And refresh. Takes about 8. There we are. Okay, I'm going to hit that mark as announcement. So we'll go to the top of the page and make sure the audio is working here. Yep. There we go. All right. Well. What's going on, everybody? Great to be here again for another lease option masterclass. Really excited about this one. It seems like we're bringing more and more every masterclass that we have and refining it a little bit more. And so really excited to be here. We'll get really kind of rolling here in about a minute or so. I know it takes a little bit for people to find us on the Facebook group. What I've done this time is I marked this as an announcement, so it'll show up to the top of the page. So what you can do is every day at noon Central, and then of course at 6 p.m. Central, just go to the announcements. If you're watching on your desktop or on your phone, just go to the announcements, and you're going to see us live within the announcements. So you don't have to go scrolling through the Facebook page trying to find us. We'll come on right at noon Central. And then at 6 p.m. Central each day, Monday through Friday. So looks like we're getting some people coming on board here. So if you can, certainly within Facebook, what you can do is you can actually type in the comment box. We'll see the comments. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your name, where you're from, and everything. While we give everybody a minute or so to jump on board here. But while we're doing that, and getting more and more people jumping on board here. I got to say, Joe, I am incredibly excited about the success that our dream partners are having right now.
Absolutely.
It just gets better and better. And you don't even know this. Teresa is about to close her first deal. She's super excited. It's a $23,000 deal up in Maryland,
New York, somewhere up there.
Okay, somewhere in the north. You know how I am at the Northeast. It's all the same to me.
Yeah. Everything outside of Texas is the same state.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I tell them, like, I'm from Texas. I don't know anything outside of this state. So she's about to get her first deal. We got the application. Everything's going great. So we're actually, I'm trying to get Teresa on tomorrow's Coach's Corner to talk about this deal and as it comes into closing here pretty quickly, actually. So excited to have that going for her. And and we do have the contract on an apartment in Mississippi for Carlos. And we just got another property. Jose is getting about to get a deal, about to close a deal in Dallas. And we got, I could go on, but we got things to do here. So bottom line is the dream partners are freaking crushing it like we've never seen before. So super excited about that. So I tell you what, it is 12:03. We'll go ahead and get started here. Hello and what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Lease Option Masterclass. I'm John Jackson. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas, and we got Joe Seskey over there in Ardmore, Oklahoma. So super excited to have you all here. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to show you all. I'm going to bring on my slide presentation. I want to show you all kind of the agenda for this week, some homework, some things that you definitely want to do to prepare for this masterclass. I'm going to share my screen here. And I'm going to hit that. And there we go. It's about an 8-second delay here between when I show my screen and when it shows up on your end. So yes, there we are. So this is very, very important. So first of all, every day, Monday through Friday at noon Central, We go live right here in the Facebook group. That's noon Central. People always say, "Where's the class? Where's the class?" It's right here. You're watching it. It is inside Facebook. Every time I go live at noon Central, I'll tag this as an announcement, so it'll pin it as an announcement. You can just go to the announcement folder at the top of your Facebook group there, and you'll see us live. So Monday through Friday, noon Central. Now, a lot of you all have signed up for VIP. Guys, if you've not signed up for VIP yet, you definitely want to do that. leaseoptionvip.com. It is a Google Drive that have loaded a ton of training videos on already, a lot of documents and downloads and documents that we use every day. So and you get it for a lifetime, and you get all the recordings of all these trainings that we're doing as well. So you want to go to leaseoptionvip.com. Now, here's what's very, very important: is that link will die tomorrow. So you only have today to sign up for Lease Option VIP. And so then, and again, 6 p.m. So what happens is Monday through Friday, noon Central, Joe and I do the masterclass. All right. Then right after that, all the VIP people, that's a VIP people. We're going to jump over to Zoom. You would have gotten the private VIP Zoom link. We're going to jump over to Zoom, and we're going to do Q&A. Well, I'll be with you for about an hour doing Q&A, answering all your questions, maybe about topics that Joe and I covered that day or the previous day. And in the VIP room, I want to talk to you about bringing us leads, any leads that you have that we can call for you. The idea there is to potentially lock up some lease option deals for you. So again, Lease Option VIP. Then, this is very, very important. Every day at 6 p.m. Central, again, all these times are Central Time, 6 p.m. Central each day, we go to Coach's Corner. So every day at 6 p.m., we'll have Coach's Corner. Now, what is Coach's Corner? Coach's Corner today is going to be introducing you to, of course, myself, Joe, the team, Melanie, Susie, everybody, Tim, to kind of introduce you to the faces behind the curtains, if you will, that work with us here at Lease Option Classes. Then Tuesday through Friday, we're going to have actual dream partners, our actual students, come on board talking about how they got started, maybe some of the hurdles and challenges they faced, how they overcame those things. And you can ask them questions as well. I think it's always best to hear from actual students. So again, you want to jump onto Lease Option VIP if you haven't done so yet. And you also want to, within this Facebook group I posted this morning, is a link to get your Lease Option Masterclass workbook. So you definitely want to go to that link. It's incredibly important to go to that link. It'll actually take you through you click on the link, and if you do it on your phone, it'll take you into a Facebook bot, on your messenger, and you click the button, answer the question, confirm your email, and boom, it'll get you your workbook. You definitely want to do that. And again, we have already got a ton of stuff in Lease Option VIP. So again, quick rules here. Be here on time, noon Central every day, and then 6 p.m. Central for the Coach's Corner. Print off this workbook. Again, the link is within this group. And within this workbook is homework. And I really think it's so important to do this homework. Otherwise, you're not going to be getting the full benefit and use of this masterclass. And engage. I want to see you all within the Facebook group asking questions, engaging. Joe and I are on there all the time answering questions and engaging. So we definitely want to engage because you want to participate. And show. Joe loves my saying, show up if you want to blow up. Right? You've got to engage. You've got to participate. You've got to be here every day. So now, a number of you all know are familiar with myself, who I am, etc. Maybe not so familiar with Joe. He's kind of behind the scenes a lot of times, working very, very diligently with the dream partners, getting them deals and contracts and everything. So we can talk a little introduction about myself, and I'll hand it over to Joe. Again, my name is John Jackson. I founded Leasing to Buy in 2003, where my company focuses specifically on lease options. I started training people in about 2008, 2009, and have since gone on to train a number of the nation's top educators and investors how to do lease options. So that's where lease option classes came from. And so I've done this for now 18 years. And along the way, Joe Seskey came along, got the training that I had at the time and crushed it up in Pennsylvania, and is now the coach for all of the Dream Partners. So he coaches all the Dream Partners and works with them. So Joe, I'll shut up for a second. I think most people kind of know who I am, and let you give your 60-second bio there.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah. So my name is Joe Seskey. I'm the main coach and mentor for lease option classes. And I'm originally from Scranton, Pennsylvania. If there's any Office fans in the audience today. But I started doing lease options, in college when I was studying to become a biologist. And for me, I really wanted, and I think this is almost everybody here, is I really wanted that financial freedom. I really wanted the freedom of the time. I know this is cliche to spend with my friends and family, but I wanted to be able to do anything I wanted without having to ask my boss for a day off. So I started gravitating towards real estate, thinking I could get started in that. And I stumbled upon John's program, dabbled in a lot of wholesaling stuff, didn't really like it, found John's course, bought it. And ever since, I've been doing lease option assignment deals in northeastern Pennsylvania, up until the past 3 years ago, where I moved down to southern Oklahoma, and been working with John ever since. So it's just been a dream come true. So that's my story, John.
All right. And real quick, I'm looking at some of the comments here. We have Mary Thompson from Sugar Land, Texas. Mary Thompson, that's interesting, Sugar Land. So looks like we're closing October 25th on a house in Sugar Land, and we just got a lease. John Luengas, we just locked up a deal in Sugar Land, a lease option deal in Sugar Land, one in Conroe. Then I'm buying a house in Sugar Land that John Luengas also found that through his direct mail. It's not going to be a lease options. It's going to be different. But so welcome from Sugar Land. Earl from North Carolina, or Charlotte, North Carolina. Earl, I've been to North Carolina twice this year speaking. So, and Virginia, Mark from Virginia. I've been to Virginia Beach. Went up there earlier this year. Loved it. Sharon Herring. Sharon is back with us. Hello, Sharon. And Kevin from Los Angeles. And all right. And Manny's on fire. All right. We've got a lot of people. Let's see here. Steve Love, what are you doing? So follow me. If not a VIP, how long will the replay? So we are taking, okay. Steve, I'm glad you asked that. Guys, this is very important. If you're a VIP, you get access to the recordings till forever. Okay. If you're not, though, here's the thing. This entire group is actually being shut down Monday. We're shutting this down Monday. So you only have till Monday, if you're not a VIP, to access all the recordings and documents and everything. So yes. So let's see here. Boy, we got a lot of people on. Debbie King Jones says, welcome to Oklahoma. So
thank you.
Yeah. So great stuff here. So let us get going. So you got a little bit about me, a little bit about Joe there. Let's talk about why we're even here. Why lease options? And I think, and the bottom line is because wholesaling stinks. Most people starting off in real estate, and I would have to assume that a lot of people on here have either done 0 deals or probably less than 10 real estate transactions, which that's fine. That's great. And what happens is people trying to get started in real estate, they're automatically drawn to wholesaling because there's so much, fluff and hype out there on Facebook about it, right? But the truth is that wholesaling, the people that are successful at wholesaling, they have got they've got the systems down. Like they've got a staff, they have an office and a staff and entire systems. All right. And when you see someone that makes, say, $100,000 in a month wholesaling, what you don't know is that's gross. That doesn't include the 30 or 40,000 they spent on marketing. That doesn't include what they had to pay acquisition and the dispo person, all this stuff. And so at the end of the day, their profit is very, very small on that. So you've got to really have the system. So wholesaling is not necessarily the greatest technique to get started in real estate. As a matter of fact, if you're wholesaling, this is really what you're looking at. This is your competition right here. Is a bunch of bandit signs on a telephone pole. This is your competition right here. With lease options, this is not your competition. Now, if you're doing wholesaling, this is what you can expect to work with: a nasty, filthy, rundown house. Versus lease options, where this is actually one of the houses that one of our dream partners got under contract. That's a beautiful, beautiful house, right? This is what Joe and I teach. This is what we specialize in. Now, I don't know about you, but I would far rather work with pretty house profits than nasty, filthy, cruddy houses that are roach infested and rat infested. Again, I mean, that's actually a picture from a house that I wholesaled over in Fort Worth. Look at that hoarder house with mold and nastiness versus beautiful, beautiful, pretty, pretty houses. Matter of fact, Joe, aren't you and Heather were, you've got like a $1.6 million condo in the Bay Area. You were talking to an NFL player's agent or something. I don't know if that ever came together, but I know talk about a beautiful piece of property out in the Bay Area, right?
Yeah. It overlooked the San Francisco Bridge.
Wow. How beautiful. Yeah. Definitely not a wholesale transaction there.
No.
So I call it P money versus pool money. And that's exactly what it is. You go into a nasty, filthy house and it smells like cat urine. There's something about people when they're, hoarders and have a nasty, filthy lean-to house, they feel like they've got to go get a bunch of cats. Versus pool money, which is what Joe and I like to work with. Pretty houses with pools. But that's what we work with lease option assignments. And you see that the thing is that most investors, maybe they'll start off, they think that the only way to make money in real estate is to bottom feed off of dying sellers. They really think that's the only way to make money, is to make money off of sellers that are so incredibly desperate, and they're just raping and scavenging the sellers for every bit of equity that they have in their property. And that's not the only way to make money in real estate. So what Joe and I are going to show you this week on this masterclass is how to pick the low-hanging fruit in real estate. So we're going to show you how to offer full price on pretty houses with essentially no competition and without spending thousands and thousands of dollars on marketing. And that's, again, you don't hear a lot about in wholesaling. The top wholesalers, they will spend minimum $10,000 a month in direct mail. A lot of them will spend $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 a month in direct mail, which is, I just couldn't imagine. Joe, could you imagine every month knowing that $15,000 is going out every month for direct mail?
Better be a large income.
Exactly. So again, we focus on some specific text campaign, working with Zillow for sell by owner, for rent by owner. We do some direct mail, but it's very, very dialed in. Here's some of our students here. Jose did 4 houses in 4 months since he got started. This one got him $40,000. But I show this because look how beautiful that house is. This was his actual listing on Zillow. This is definitely not some wholesale house. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous house. There's $60,000 on right there. Adriano, that was his first deal, $15,000 on that deal up in Michigan. And Drew Danowski, this was his first deal. He actually made more than this. There's about $14,000 deal that he made on that.
Then you have Esther, you have Mike in Hawaii that just did deals recently.
Oh yeah, and I gotta, you know what? I gotta maybe tomorrow. I gotta show Mike's deal that he did in Hawaii. Yeah, he did a condo in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be showing more and more deals and more completed deals and checks and stuff over the week for sure. Like Mike's deal, Teresa's deal. She gets ready to close that. So now here's the thing, guys, that lease options allow you to convert almost all of your leads. They allow you to convert almost all your leads. So if you're currently doing marketing, what happens is this: is you do marketing and you have all these leads that come in, and you're looking for these specific leads that maybe you're trying to wholesale. Well, most of the leads that you get in don't fit into that wholesale model. And so you just throw all these leads away. Well, those leads cost you money. So with the strategies that Joe and I are going to show you this week, you can convert almost all your leads by using lease options. And lease options are used in all aspects of real estate. I call them the gateway strategy of real estate. So if you're looking to get into multifamily, self-storage, land, commercial, anything, Airbnb, there's no better way to get lease options, because you see lease options allow you to buy, sell, or control. Now, why would I put Airbnb there with the little asterisks? Because so many people are wanting to get into Airbnb right now, and they think that you've got to go buy the house, and you don't. You see, the easy to get into Airbnb is with a lease option. You actually lease option the house from the seller, you Airbnb it out, make all that profit each month, and then you have the option to buy in, say, a year or 2 years or whatever that may be, up to you. But you don't have to buy the house. You use a lease option. In commercial, if you want to get started in commercial, there's no better way than a lease option. Don't go to a bank if you want to buy a commercial building. No, use a lease option. Raw land. And you always put this at the bottom: planes, ships, and cars. Now, why would I put planes, ships, and cars on there? Because if you've ever leased a car, like a BMW or a Cadillac, then you actually had a lease option on that car. You put X amount down at do it signing, is what they say, X amount do it signing. You're paying X amount per month on that BMW, and you have the option, not the obligation, to buy that BMW before the lease expires. Joe and I do the same thing, except with houses instead of BMWs. All right, so let's get into the meat here. So what is a lease option? Again, it's simply a lease with an option to purchase at a set price before that option expires. So it's a lease with a separate option to purchase. Gives the buyer the option to buy that property at a set price. So again, it's like an option on a stock market. If anybody here's ever bought an option on a stock market, or just like I said, like leasing a Cadillac or a BMW, you're leasing it with the option of purchase. Joe and I are just going to show you how to do the same thing, except with real estate, with houses. Now, there's massive benefits of a lease option. There's no money down. It requires no money to buy. You don't need money to buy or rehab a house. If anybody here has ever tried to flip or rehab a house, took on a lot of risk there. I personally have never rehabbed a house. I desire to, because I've seen way too many people get in way over their head, and these were even experienced investors. I don't need that kind of headache. And babysitting contractors. And with lease options, there's literally no competition. You're offering the owner full price. You're not negotiating with the seller, and you're not spending $25,000 a month on direct mail. You're just not doing it. And Joe, and I don't know how many of the dream partners that you're working with that are actively doing some direct mail right now, because I know a lot of them are doing some texting for sale by owner and this and that. But a couple of weeks ago, Joe, I did a very small campaign to some over 90-day listings, just simply to show the students, hey, here's how you do a mail piece. And within as soon as the mail piece hit, 2 days later, or within 3 days later, we had 6 sellers reaching out to us from a very, very tiny mail piece where I was just literally just showing how to do it. Are some of your students doing some direct mail right now, Joe?
Most of my students are doing direct mail. I also did kind of a direct mail campaign to Oklahoma City a few weeks ago, and I received a few handful of calls off of that, and I could show you that postcard if you like. But yeah, I did the same thing, and I would say um, most of our students that are doing the direct mail, that's where a lot of their deals are coming from. But we do have a lot of students targeting FSBOs, FRBOs, expireds, all that good stuff as well. But yeah, most of them are, John.
Yeah. And so again, when we teach direct mail, which we're going to get into marketing later this week, right now we're just kind of setting the foundation for what is a lease option, and then we're going to get into some of your financial goals and the mindset today. But yeah, when we do direct mail, which we're going to teach a little bit, talk on that a little bit later this week, we do very small direct mail pieces in the sense of I'll spend I spent $400 on that direct mail campaign that I was just showing as an example. And we got six leads. And I think we're locking one of them up for sure as a contract. We'll probably get 2. That's off of $400. So again, very small direct mail campaigns. So let's get into, we kind of talked a little bit about the basics of a lease option and how to think of it as a kind of leasing a car, but we're doing the same thing except with a house instead. I'm going to start following the workbook just a little bit here, talk a little bit about income goals. Now, if you haven't downloaded the workbook yet, you can certainly do that within this Facebook group. I put a link on there today that you can download. You just click on it. It'll take you to direct Facebook Messenger. Click the link to confirm your email. Hit the button. It'll give you this. Okay. And even if you need to wait till after this class, but you definitely want to get this workbook. So again, let's talk a little bit about income goals here. Now, if your monthly income goal, let's just say, is $12,000, and I pulled that out because $12,000 it was kind of the average of the deal that each student was doing. It's now getting on a little bit of the lower end. So I'm going to be very conservative here with these, with the income goals and with the kind of the amounts the students are bringing in. But again, if you do one deal per month, and the average deal is $12,000. All right. So if you do one deal per month, that's 8 seller price sheets. And what do I mean by that? Well, later in this week, we're going to be showing a little bit more of the flow of once we send out direct mail campaign, or once we're talking to the seller, we've got some pre-drafted emails that we send out, and we send out seller price sheets. Some people may call this an offer sheet, and that's certainly fine. But the seller price sheet is a very, very simple PDF that our students send out to the seller to show them what the numbers are going to look like on a lease option. And so on average, for every 8 seller price sheets that you send out, you're going to get 1 contract, right? 1 deal. So if your monthly income is $12,000, well, that's about 1 deal. 1 deal equals about 8 seller price sheets that you need to send out. That's not very many at all, by the way. So 8 seller price sheets, if you're going to do direct mail, equals about 800 mail pieces. Now, I'm being very conservative here. It's probably less than that, but I'm trying to give you an idea of what to expect from the numbers and how to get to your income goals. So if 8 seller price sheets equals, say, 800 mail pieces, that means you need to have 20 conversations with sellers. So you need to talk to about 20 sellers, and I'm being very conservative here, to get 1 deal. Now, Joe, you've not seen this slide before, I don't think. And when I put this together, Joe, I was trying to be incredibly conservative, because I realize that when you or myself are talking to sellers, or especially when our dream partners have you or I get on the phone with a seller, that we probably talk to like 10 sellers to get a deal. So I was being very, very conservative here on the numbers. Would you say that for about every 10 sellers you talk to, you get a deal?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, because so when I say 20 conversations with sellers, guys, I'm being incredibly, like when I say 20 conversations with sellers to get a deal, you would have to have like a really severe stutter. All right. to have that many conversations, only get 1 deal, but I'm trying to be very conservative on the numbers here. So, if your income goal is $12,000, that's 1 deal a month. That's 8 seller price sheets. That's about 20 conversations with sellers. So at $12,000 per deal, 1 deal every other month is $72,000 a year. So that's $72,000 a year you'll make simply by doing one deal every other month. All right. So you do a deal and you decide to take, 60 days off. That's $72,000 a year. But going back to one deal a month, that's $144,000 a year doing one deal a month. And that's talking to having about 20 conversations with sellers. And I think everybody on this masterclass can talk to 20 people within a 30-day period, right? That'll get you to that, what you're trying to hit there, about $144,000 a year. So on your workbook, this is something you'll want to do as your homework is, the average deal in most areas is about $12,000. And you have to decide, well, what's your monthly cash goal? Is it 12,000? Is it 20,000? Whatever that case may be. And then, well, how many deals does that equate to a month or every other month, right? But I would say the $12,000 per deal is about average, maybe a little bit on the low end. Joe, I know you coach our dream partners all across the nation, all the way from Hawaii to New York. What are you seeing as kind of the average right now per deal transaction?
Anywhere from 10 to 15,000. I think you're right.
Okay. All right. Okay. So my 12 is still, it's still okay in there. I just know that I'm seeing like Teresa just.
Well, once you start getting into $400,000 properties, depends where you are. You're looking at 20,000 down for 400,000. But if you're asking for an average, then 10 to 15.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And so again, on your workbook, I want you all to complete your workbook today, because this is your homework. I want you all to get a mental vision, a visual on what is your goal to make per month. Is it $12,000 a month? Is it $24,000 a month? That's something you have to determine. And then how many deals per month do you need to do? Or maybe it's one deal every other month. That depends on what your goal is. But I want you to write this out and do your homework on this. Here's just some deals again. There's Jose, and we've got some great videos from all these dream partners here. Julie Atkins on week 5 and 6, she did $38,000. Here's another one, Jose. And the reason I show this one is because look at that house. That is a beautiful house he did. On that particular one, he made $12,000. But I show this to show the kind of the quality of the houses that we're working with, that our dream partners are working with. These are not rundown, nasty houses. We're not bottom feeding off of sellers. We're working with nice houses. A lot of the houses we work with be listed at the same time. They may be for sale by owner, but these are nice, beautiful, beautiful houses. There's a check you got for $60,000. So again, you need to determine, what is your income goal going to be, the amount per month. What does that look like? How many sellers do you need to talk to? Again, being incredibly conservative. You need to talk to 20 sellers to get a deal. Now, if you've tried to wholesale, you've probably realized that you've got to talk to maybe 80 sellers or 100 sellers to try to lock up a deal. And then you still have to negotiate with them. That's not how it is with lease options, because they're already trying to sell their house and you're not negotiating. So it makes life a lot easier. And like Joe and I were just talking about, really, you talked about, if we are working with our dream partners, talking to sellers, about every 10 sellers, maybe even 8.
Yeah. It depends on the lead source. If you're doing your direct mail campaigns, those sellers tend to be a little bit more motivated. You might have to send out a little bit less price sheets, or where the FSBOs are probably the least motivated, you might have to talk to a little bit more people, right? So, but with the direct mail, I would say most people that call me off of a direct mail piece, I am 9 times out of 10 going to lock that up under contract if they're calling me.
Yeah, and you bring up a very good point, Joe, and especially as we get into marketing like Thursday and Friday. When you're sending off direct mail, and again, Joe and I do very small numbers, like 500, 600 pieces of mail at a time. When you're doing direct mail and those sellers are calling you, it's the odds of locking that up for a contract are very, very high, because they've gotten that piece of mail. Matter of fact, I've got some right here that just came back. They've gotten that piece of mail or a trifold brochure. They've opened it up and they've stopped what they're doing and called you, right, to find out, hey, how does this work? And so the odds of locking that up are very, very high. So we talked about a little bit about lease options, just kind of what are they against a lease with a separate option or purchase, gives the buyer the right to buy it. But you're simply, in our cases, we show you this week, we're simply assigning a contract to the end buyer, giving them the right to buy that house at a set price before a certain time. Then we talked a little bit about financial goals. What are your financial goals? About $12,000 on average per deal. Depending on where you live, it may be closer to $20,000 per deal, again, depending on where you live. But you need to know what is it that your goal is and how many leads, how many sellers you need to talk to get a deal and to get to your target. So then that takes us into mindset. And this is so important. I'm a big, massive proponent of mindset and beliefs and getting the mindset right. And so here in just a little bit, I've got 2 videos I'm going to show you here. But I want to dive into mindset. Now, in order to change, you must get uncomfortable. Success is not convenient. All right. I hope you all write that down. Success is not convenient. Right. You've got to go out of your comfort zones to get successful. In order to change anything in life, you must do something uncomfortable. You absolutely cannot grow as a human, whether it be success or anything, without some level of discomfort, whether it's muscles. The other day, I was at the gym and I posted a video onto this Facebook group of myself and my trainer. And I was talking about how, I've got a personal trainer. He pushes me beyond my comfort zone. So whether you're talking about you want to be better or grow better in, health wise, muscles, you've got to get uncomfortable. Money, right? You've got to do something uncomfortable. You've got to push and push and push. And I put teeth down there because I've got Invisaligns. I don't have them on me right now because I can't talk very well with them. But I put Invisaligns in. It's not very comfortable, right? But but I've got to get uncomfortable. Education is not always comfortable. Whether it's education, blocking out a couple hours a day for this Facebook Live for you to learn lease options. That may not be comfortable. Maybe you'd rather be watching Netflix or something. But you've got to do something out of your comfort zone if you're going to grow, no matter what it is. So I really harp on this, and they're in your workbook here. But write these down. I hope you all have a pen and write these words down. Yeah, but what if only? Yeah, but what if only? These are the words that will keep you within your comfort zone. So when Joe and I are working with dream partners, and Joe's telling a partner, hey, you got to do this and this, and he's pushing that student out of their comfort zone to make them grow, to make them successful, it's not that uncommon for a new dream partner to go, yeah, what if blank? Well, what if blank? Well, what if this? And they're just literally coming up with hypothetical scenarios that are not going to happen or ever going to happen. And Joe's got to push them beyond that level to get them out of their comfort zones. But these words, yeah, but what if only, will keep you within your comfort zones. Meaning they will subconsciously, you will come up with these words to stop you dead in your tracks. So let me show you this, this diagram here. So any action that you're going to take, any action you are going to take, it starts with an idea, a thought in your conscious brain. And that idea or thought has to pass by or pass through the subconscious brain. And it's in the subconscious brain where your subconscious is there to protect you, right? Your subconscious is for protection and survival, whereas your conscious brain is there for knowledge and reason. So any idea or thought you have to take an action must pass through the subconscious brain first. And so your subconscious brain, think of it as like having a stamp of approval or denial. So you think of, I'm going to get started in real estate. I'm going to buy this course, whatever the case may be. That idea or thought pass through the subconscious, and the subconscious brain will stop it with, yeah, but didn't you buy a course before? What if it doesn't work? Oh, if only, and they'll stamp it and go, denied. And that thought, and then you don't take action. So that thought goes back to the conscious brain and go, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. So any thought that you have has to pass by the subconscious brain. Now, the most dangerous action you can take is when the subconscious brain stamps that idea with approved, but with caution. Well, I'm gonna invest in. I'm gonna get this real estate course, and I guess we'll see. And because your subconscious goes approved with caution. Well, when you approve that action, that thought with caution, that means your action's gonna suck, which means your results are gonna suck, and then the feedback's gonna come right back to your conscious brain. You're gonna see, I told you this wasn't gonna work. Well, of course it works. But it's not because you allowed your subconscious to stamp it with a approved, but with caution. So what I'm going to show you next is I talk about the Undercover Billionaire, and I'll talk about more about that here next. But on the Undercover Billionaire, what you're going to see is these billionaires act with so much speed and so fast, they literally bypass the subconscious. So when you have an idea or a thought, you really want it to take action so quickly, it essentially bypasses the subconscious brain, and boom, you take action because your subconscious is there to protect you, right? The yeah, but what if only. And if you take action with hesitancy, your results are going to suck, and it's going to come right back to your conscious brain and say, well, see, I told you it wasn't going to work. I told you. Undercover Billionaire. Now, you probably not watched this yet. Have you watched the second season of Undercover Billionaire?
No.
Okay. No. Joe, I'm telling you, I'm gonna minimize this. You definitely want to watch the second season of Undercover Billionaire. It's got Grant Cardone and then two other, and I feel bad that I don't know their names, two other billionaires on this show. And the premise of this show is that they give these billionaires like Grant Cardone, they fly them off to some random place, and then they give them $100 and a piece of junk car, and they have 90 days to create $1 million company. 90 days using nothing but $100. This is a great, great show to watch. I want everybody on this masterclass to make a note to watch Undercover Billionaire. But when you watch it, don't watch it from the entertainment perspective. I want you to watch it from the perspective of what are they actually doing? How are they acting? How are they taking action? And what you're going to see, because all three of these billionaires, they were successful. Grant made a company with a valuation of $5 billion. The lady was at 1.5, and I forgot what the other one was. But the point is, they all succeeded. But when you watch this, what you're going to see, all of these billionaires, all three of them had something in common. They all acted with absolute speed. They did not hesitate. So when they had an idea of a thought or an action, they didn't allow it to go through their subconscious and go, yeah, but I don't know. What if, I don't know. Let me see. Let me talk to my wife first and see. I don't know. No, they took action. They took action immediately. They created opportunity. And when they saw opportunity, they just shoved their way in. So as soon as they saw that door open a little bit, boom, they shoved their way in. And creativity, guys, speed and creativity. You want to get creative. When Joe and I do a 3-day boot camp and we talk about marketing to sellers, one of the things we talk about is creativity. We even have an activity where Joe will have them. Well, tell everybody what you have the audience do when we talk about marketing.
What, brainstorm ideas?
Yeah.
Get in the groups?
Yeah, you have a group
we have everybody group off, and they have about, 15, 20 minutes to come up with some creative, innovative ideas to market to either sellers or buyers, and we get some pretty interesting results.
Yeah, and so the creativity, that's really where the genius is. And we'll get into marketing later, but I talk about in marketing that creativity is far more important than money.
And what we do is creative real estate investing. We do creative financing. That's what we do. Our blood is creativity, in what we do. So yeah, you have to be creative for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And with when it comes to marketing, you definitely always want to be creative. But you're going to find on Undercover Billionaire season 2, they all act with absolute speed. They don't have to think about it and go, well, what if? Yeah, but I don't know. Woe is me. No, they just go, 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 go. And in watching that show, I was just mesmerized by it, in the sense of watching these people. And yes, I know it's TV, but also knowing that, and this is going on during Corona. Okay, so you see him having to shut down, shoot.
Yeah. I really like Grant. Grant Cardone is a cool guy.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I know he's a showman and all that stuff, but hey, that's
yeah. He got COVID though during filming, didn't he?
He got COVID.
Yeah.
Yep. But when I was watching this show, Undercover Billionaire, it made me think, wow, I think I'm playing in the small leagues here. Like it made me think, wow, I'm not taking enough action, not taking enough action fast enough. Right. So it's really changed my perspective on, for example, next year in 2022, some of the things that I want to do and accomplish, and the people that I want to surround myself with. So I'm like, man, there isn't, the only limits we have are those that we put on ourselves. And, so this has really changed some of the way I think about things. So, but on this show, Grant Cardone even talks about lease options. So I'm going to over here to this screen. I'm going to pull this screen up here. And Joe, when I do this, I'm going to turn off. You don't touch anything. I'm going to turn off our videos, okay, our feeds, but then I'll bring it back on, okay. So you don't need to do anything. But here is Grant Cardone talking lease options. Like just a second here.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you, man.
See you as well.
I'm enjoying this little trip we're on.
I'm loving every minute of it.
I'm meeting with Matt today to discuss the Oneida building, which is, I believe, a great investment. There's money to be made here. Lewis Curtis doesn't have Grant Cardone's money, but Lewis does have Grant's strategies. I'm going to teach my business partner how to buy this property the Cardone way. I don't have the money. He's got the money. He's got the credit line. I wouldn't have a financial stake in it, but this is a great opportunity for Matt to build not just a company here, but actually start our first real estate deal. I just got to convince him to do it.
I'm saying, great building. It's the oldest building in Pueblo. Somebody that's passionate about this community, to have that, I want it. How do we do that?
If you're going to do it, let's put some magic on it.
Okay.
Okay, so the way to do it is do not do it traditional. Don't go to the bank and get a loan. Okay? Don't go to the banks. You don't need to go to the banks first, because then I got to get an appraisal. Then it's got to record a deed. Then we got to do a bunch of checks, and we got to do a bunch of inspections. So we're going to go to the seller who owns the property, and I'm going to say, you carry the mortgage. Here's a 4% rate of return. That's better than you get at the bank by about 80 times. This is called owner financing, okay? And that is going to put the seller in a position to get payments now over long periods of time, not have to pay any taxes yet, because we won't actually make a sale until later. It gives Matt time to build a business within a business, commercial real estate, produce income, and then later go to the bank 2 or 3 years from now and get a permanent loan. What's he want for it? $1 million? So you go to him, you say, hey, rather than conducting a sale, okay, why don't we do a lease purchase, an option? Here's how we put the magic spell on it. Okay, you put it under contract, get control of it. We're the first tenants, and you have the rest of the building around. Start moving other people in and change the lease amount to increase the value of the building.
So what we're paying rent, the tenants would already pay for. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Got to get tenants.
Yeah.
Matt needs to buy this building. The building's right. The location's sick. We can fill it up with tenants. He's going to run his operations from there. Why not just go ahead and knock this bad boy right out of the park and give it another 18 months and you make another $1 million?
He had some great advice. I mean, I've bought real estate. I've bought commercial real estate here. I've bought commercial real estate there. But I've done it on a totally long, drawn-out process that takes months, if not years, from beginning to end. And people willing to do an owner carry for tax advantages for themselves. There's two people shaking hands and saying, let's make this happen. And, you know, and the other thing that I've learned a lot is just how to create that tenant base, increasing the value of that place. I don't think my brain didn't work that way before, Lewis, and now I really understand. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. One way or another, we're buying this building, and I'm learning a little bit on how to do that on an outside the box kind of way.
So I love, because when I was watching that show and they were talking about that building, and as soon as Grant said, and as soon as they were talking about buying that building, before they even talked about a lease option or anything, I thought, oh my God. And I just knew it. I was like, oh, I know what they're going to do. And boom. And as soon as Grant said, we're not going to use a bank, and how are his accent, we're not going to use a bank, we're going to lease option it. And that's exactly, what you want to do. There's a gentleman on here. I think there was a gentleman. There's a person on here that said that he, I can't find one of the people, call right now said that they did commercial real estate for years, and that lease options are definitely very common in the commercial space. And then I want to before I move on here, Igor Smile said, do those billionaires become so fast with their actions before or after they became billionaires? That's a great question. You see, the most successful people decide quickly and adjust. Guys, that's incredibly important to understand. Successful people decide quickly and adjust. The people that are not successful either never decide or decide very slowly.
And I think what he's touching on too is, can you take action and have success? I think the equation is knowledge plus action equals success, right? And we're here to give you the knowledge for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And but you've got to take action with that knowledge, right? And understanding that you're not going to know every single possible thing before you take action. There's a reason that doctors go into residency after 8 years of school, right? Because now it's time for OJT, right? So Joe and I give you all the knowledge, but we'll immerse you in the Dream Partner program, and it's OJT all the way. Let me go back through here. So I want to show you here. I know we got about 10 minutes here, and I wanted to get to some of the comments here or questions here. The book that got me started in real estate. I gave away a number of these copies last time, but I want to show it to you just so you definitely go to Amazon and get this. The 1 Minute Millionaire. It's a phenomenal book by Robert Allen. Look at that for me. But it's a phenomenal book, 1 Minute Millionaire. This is the book that got me started in 2002, 2003. This book actually got a number of people started. And Robert Allen, I'm very, very blessed, very fortunate that Robert Allen, I can now call him, he's a friend of mine, and just such a wonderful, wonderful person. Wrote the book No Money Down, 1 Minute Millionaire, and he's written many books that have made it to number one. And a few months ago, I was in Provo, Utah with him for an event about becoming a number one author. And after the event, he and I were talking, and he had some phenomenal words that I think are so relevant to everybody, especially on this training. And I'm going to pull that up here real quickly. I've got to hit about 3 buttons here. And there's that. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to close your window, Joe. I got to hit about 18 buttons to get this. Hey, everybody. John Jackson here, Lease Option Classes, here with the Robert G. Allen, the man that got me started in real estate in 2003 with a 1 Minute Millionaire. Here in Utah, he just gave an amazing, amazing presentation. And the big takeaway for me, I'm just blown away, is commitment. Once you commit, the paradigm shifts dramatically. So many people I talk to that want to get started, say, in real estate, they're like, well, maybe, I don't know, I'll think about it. Yeah, but what if only? But once you commit, the paradigm shifts. Robert, what can you say real quickly about once you commit?
There's a statement I want you to memorize, and you've heard it before, but you've never memorized it. And the reason you haven't memorized it is you weren't committed to memorize it. So it's a quote about commitment, about a guy who's climbing Mount Everest, and as they're climbing Mount Everest, he writes in his book how to commit. He said, until one is committed, There is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits, providence moves too. A whole sorts of things, all sorts of things occur that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from decision. Your decision to commit, a whole stream of events issues from your decision, raising in your favor all sorts of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which you couldn't even imagine were going to happen to you. That quote, you go online and Google the commitment quote, you'll find it. I want you to memorize it, because it means that when you commit and willing to go all in, providence, what does that mean? Providence with a capital P, providence, the universe, higher power, commits to people who commit and doesn't commit to people who are not committed, leaves them on their own to try to figure out by themselves. So you got to go for it. You got to commit, but you got to follow your heart. I mean, you don't want to go for something stupid, because your intuition will tell you, that's stupid, don't do that. But if your heart says, this is it, go all in.
Robert, thank you so much. I'm so blessed to have you in my life, to have seen you on TV 18 years ago with Mark Victor Hansen promoting your book, and what a dynamic change you've had in my life from so many people. So thank you so much, Robert.
You're welcome. He's great. He's awesome programs. Get them. Yes, do it.
Thank you. He's a great guy. I'm gonna pull this up here. But that's so important. Commit. Until one commits, there is hesitancy. Remember how I said I was showing the conscious brain, the subconscious brain, and when you have a thought of a desire, of an action, something you want to achieve, and it passes through the subconscious, and your subconscious is going, I don't know, stamp, denied. Yeah, but what if? I don't know. When you commit, without it bypassing the subconscious, saying, nope, I'm doing it, let's go, boom. So fast your subconscious, it can't stamp it. Now your action is going to be powerful. And I'm going to give you an example of an action that I'm committed to in 2022, just to show you how impactful this is that I'm committed to surround myself with people that make 8 figures a year consistently next year in 2022. Why would I do that? Because if you're hanging around people that are making 10, 20, 30 million a year, you have no choice but to raise up to that level, to start seeing things differently, start thinking about things differently. So there's already 2 groups in particular that that looks like I'll be joining and working with, but just to be around that group of people to take it to a different level. And you know what? It's going to be uncomfortable, because I'm going to feel like I'm the dumbest person in the room, but that's kind of that's the room you want to be in, right? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And on that note, while Robert was talking there, I put this slide together really quickly. Who, not how. Joe, you can see that okay. I know I've talked about a lot of stuff here. I've talked about the 1 Minute Millionaire. I've got a couple of freebies I'm going to give you too, but who, not how. This book, I've listened to the audiobook, it's phenomenal. So many times when you say you want to get started in real estate, as an example. I want to get started in real estate, but how do I do it? How do I do it? If you ask how, then you're asking the wrong question. You should be asking who. Who do I know to go to that can help me with those questions or help me with that? For example, you want to get started on lease options. How do I do that? You're asking the wrong question. You shouldn't be asking how. You should be asking who. In this case, obviously, Joe, Seskey, and I, right? We are your who's. When it comes to our business, something that Joe needs or something that I need, instead of me asking, how do I do that? I say, who does that? Who can I go to? And it's by surrounding myself with people with a lot of very high level who's, if you will, that help me tremendously. Guys, get this audiobook at the very least. If you don't buy the hard copy, get the audiobook. Who, not how. It's phenomenal. Freeze here. just heard from Robert Allen. I'm going to be putting into the guides section on the Facebook group a couple of free gifts. And this is also, by the way, I've read this VIP. This is going to go into VIP Google Drive today, as well as this recording. The free gift is the 4 maps of happy, successful people. This is written by Robert Allen and his son. That is a free gift from me to you. And then another free gift is the book that Robert Allen absolutely comes out and admits says this was the worst selling book he's ever written. He said it did horrible. He said, first of all, the challenge, nobody wants a challenge. And he said, how do you go from broke to bank in 90 days or less? He said, well, if you're broke, you're probably not walking around, Barnes and Noble. So he said, it was the worst. He said it was the worst marketing ever. He was telling us this. He said he did, though, from this book. It was so horrible. If I remember right, the way he tells the story is great. It was so horrible. The publisher basically said, hey, do you want your book back? Can we just give it back to you? So he got it back, changed some things, ended up making millions and millions off this book because of what the challenge he put into the book. But I'm going to give this as a free gift. This is where he goes to this is a book where he goes into the unemployment line and he gets people into real estate within 90 days. So I'm going to give you this book for free. It's going to go in the guide section. If you're a VIP, it's going to go into your VIP Google Drive later today. Now, homework. Guys, please print off your workbook. Melanie has posted a link. I've posted a link. It will take you into what's called a Facebook bot. It'll take you into Facebook Messenger, and it'll say, "Hey, is this your email?" And you go, "Yep," and you click it to confirm this is great. I'm emailing you your workbook, and here it is. So you got it in Facebook Messenger and in your email. Write your income goals. Write those down. Until you write them down, they're ethereal. They mean nothing. And post in this Facebook group with comments, questions, anything you have, and post what your goals are. Let us help you get to those goals. And again, 6 p.m. Central each day in this Facebook group, Coach's Corner. Today, you're going to hear from my staff, from the people that work with me behind the scenes, the people that you'll be talking to later this week, Susie and Tim. And then Tuesday through Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to have actual dream partners unscripted here within this Facebook group. You can ask them questions. They'll talk about the challenges they had getting started, their first deal, or what they've done to get started, etc. Right here within the Facebook group, 6 p.m. You do not want to miss it. And then lastly, tomorrow at noon Central, right here within this group, we're going to be talking about lease option assignments. Joe and I are going to be diving deep into lease option assignments, which is exactly what Leasing to Buy does. It's what we specialize in. It's what Joe teaches all of our dream partners. So you want to be here tomorrow at noon Central. I will make one little side note here. Because I showed a video with Grant Cardone, it is very, very, very possible that Facebook will not allow us to it'll pull it down. They did that last time. And so this recording, if need be, I'll put it into a Google Drive and then put the link into the announcements because I don't think that Facebook will allow me to. The last time they pulled it down. And yeah, I was lost because I didn't know what was going on. So yeah. Go figure. There you go, John Jackson breaking the rules. And so if they do pull it, I'll pull it down, put it into Google Drive, and put in the announcements. Nevertheless, guys, we've had a great time here. It is 1:02. I'm officially 2 minutes late for the VIP room. And Joe, I know you were back to back today with coaching calls. I assume you've got to jump on some coaching calls. Is that right?
I have a call now, but I will be on Coach's Corner later today.
All right, Joe, we'll see you at 6 o'clock. Thank you, guys, everybody. Do not miss today, Coach's Corner, 6 p.m. Central, okay? And then tomorrow, Joe and I are diving heavy into lease option assignments and definitely be posting questions and comments here within the Facebook group. All right, Joe, thank you so much, sir. Great to have you on here. I know you got coaching calls. And we'll see you tonight, 6 p.m. Central, Coach's Corner.
All righty. Thank you.
Take care, guys.